Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran, Terra, Shadowfront, where I will talk as if I am half Bill Shatner. And I am joined today by... I'm John, I'm the Game Master today, and I'm joined today by William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Valdez Stonebeard, the Dwarven fighter.
And Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Ariel, a smart fighter.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Titania, druid princess.
And Cody.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Ithram Volar, the Hobgoblin War Wizard.
And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Geralth of Marduk, the half-elf spellslinger.
And Nikki.
Hi everybody, I'm Nikki, and I'm playing Scuzzbuckets, the rogue.
We will not be joined this week by Aaron. They are busy at the moment, but Carolina, the human barbarian, does exist and does things. So, when last we left off, the Griffin Company, known as the Steel Hearts, had been tasked as one of three Griffin companies that had been sent out to various parts along the Lightwall in southern Terram to reestablish it, where it had been breached and three bastions had fallen to the creatures being spawned from the corruption to the south, south of what is known at the moment as the Shadowfront. When they got there, they found the bastion full of dead bodies and one surviving soldier from the original garrison who had apparently been fighting on her own for quite some time. One, Deirdre Alexia Valkorian, another member of the royal family, one of Titania's cousins, and the daughter of Legion General Varnabas, of the head of the Tyrian military. They got a little bit of information out of her, but not a lot, because she was exhausted to the point of passing out. She had 5 levels of exhaustion, for those keeping track at home. And learned that the Bastion had sort of just been overwhelmed by forces that seemed to come up over the walls and just sort of breached through very unexpectedly and suddenly. As they got her into a bed to rest and recover, they learned soon what the threat exactly was, as tendrils of darkness erupted from the south, depositing hordes of creatures at their doorstep. These creatures are sort of like ebony and ivory statue-esque versions of creatures that exist. Sort of feral statue goblins and a statuesque ogre that just sort of attacked en masse, that seemed to have some sort of odd interaction when they attacked people and crumbled into dust mostly upon their destruction. Fighting off waves of goblins and an ogre, they managed to hold out long enough for their technomancer that had been sent with them from the Izzet League to restore the Lightwall generator in the Bastion, which connected with the Lightwall generators of the other 2 fallen bastions, as the other Griffin companies seem to have also held out long enough for that to occur. Meaning that they will no longer have to worry about airdropped monsters like they had to deal with initially, but the creatures can still come across the Lightwall. It can only stop the corruption. It can't stop physical bodies. But they now, at the very least, will be able to see them coming and prepare. Which is where we last left off, with the Lightwall snapping into existence and the ogre being felled. Ariel.
Yep.
In the back of your head, you hear a voice that doesn't talk to you very often, but does occasionally. There was something about those creatures. Their attacks unsettled your aether.
Don't suppose you can clarify that for me a little?
There wasn't... You managed to not get hit enough that it never fully took form, but it seemed like it was attempting to homogenize your ether. That's the best way I can describe
That
it.
sounds...
And you know a little bit about ether, Ariel. Not necessarily from any studies, but just because you being a bounty hunter, you pick
Right.
up things. So ether is generally split into various different types. It's sort of like your body has this system that is constructed of a variety of different kinds of ether. You have water aligned, earth aligned, fire aligned, etc., etc. It's the way that it's part of the elemental cycle that magic users use to cast their spells and things like that. We all have a little bit of that in ourselves. That's how sorcerers and wizards can do that. Homogenizing would be taking all the variety of ether that's in your body and compressing it into one kind, which would not be healthy for you.
Right. So don't let that happen. Noted.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm not
say
cer-
this
I'm
out
not,
loud?
I'm not certain what the effect would be, but it would definitely be bad.
No, this is all...
All inside.
Fair.
Is
I'm
yeah.
just curious because
Unlike Hope, Ariel talks to her Deva internally.
yes.
This is a
Listen.
private conversation.
I don't know.
This isn't that much different from Korashana. I just don't. Why'd you make the same character, Jeremy?
Yeah, that's the information you received from Esme.
Got it.
Yes, you are all in the tower in various places. The ogre has collapsed. It still mostly looks like an ogre, but where it's fallen over and the various wounds it has started to crumble in those places. And there are definitely some corpses underneath it.
Yeah.
We
You're
need
all
to,
let's go ahead.
we need to take advantage of whatever break we're going to get now that the light wall is up to clear some of this battlefield, so we're not tripping over corpses next time we have a fight.
Geralt pushes his link pearl into his ear. Yeah, I'm thinking we should probably pile up these stony fuckers in front of the gate, give ourselves a little bit of a barricade.
As
Smart.
much of them as will hold up, but yes.
They crumble when you touch.
But do they disappear?
No, just piled dust.
I
If we-
mean, if
we
you
could-
get enough water, you can just make mud.
That's true.
We can try and make something of them later. Right now, let's just what little time we've got before they decide they're going to push on the walls again. We need to try and get bodies piled so that our druid can take care of sending them to their proper rest, and get dust piled so we can figure out what we're doing with it, if anything.
Suggest a minimum of anything that might cause ingestion in whatever capacity that you might interpret that.
Cause what?
Like a tummy ache?
Indigestion? I'm confused.
Ingestion.
That's
I don't know
super in
where you
character.
inserted a duh, but ingestion.
No,
Don't breathe
totally
in the
in
dust is
character.
what you're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't breathe it in. Don't eat it, Scuzz.
Okay. I was
Scuzz
gonna
has
defend
like
myself, but
Scuzz has a handful of it in his hand right now.
I'm glad Valdis understands my meaning.
Well, it's come
Alright.
in handy. And Ithram just takes his cloak and wraps it around his face.
oh yeah,
That was absolutely one of those moments where you want to tell one specific person one thing, but
You
rather
wanna
than call them out, you tell everybody.
This was supposed to be a blind CC, but nope, it was sent to everybody. Reply all. Whoops. I would like to help with fortifications of the front gate, either piling bodies on top of one another, or the crumbly bits, or setting up traps.
If you think you can set up a trap, be my guest.
We got rope. We can make a very rudimentary tripwire.
How smart did these goblins seem?
They had it's hard to tell. They had a basic level of like tactics and organization, and they definitely were organized, but it's hard to tell like what level of intelligence or sentience they might have had.
Would I gauge that they would be either automaton-like enough or dumb as bricks enough to trip over a simple rope?
Hard to tell.
Okay.
But there wasn't like an observable command structure. Or
No, they were definitely
right,
organizing each other non-verbally, which.
Geralt will start helping just move bodies and stuff.
Yeah, Tanya's gonna do that.
Try and clear some of this clutter off this
Bodies.
battlefield.
So I'm going
Pretty
to.
strong, so.
I'm going to just get rid of some of these. I'm just going to get rid of bodies
Thank you.
Yeah.
to help clear it out. So as you begin moving things around, things you notice.
I'm going to keep lookout on second floor. He goes up to the second floor.
Things you notice. The bodies crumble as soon as you touch them. Like you'll grab like a chunk of like that ogre and pull, and your hand just pulls through it, and what comes out is like it basically turns to sand almost. Is the density of this material that they crumble into. They hold their shape only as long as they are untouched. So any amount of like you just have to breathe on them or push them, and they crumble. The bodies of the things you notice about some of the bodies that are underneath this sand, you've noticed, the weapons and armor have drastically degraded. They've become brittle and very easily like cracked and chipped, as if they'd been laying in an acid bath for years. The bodies as well, the bits of flesh that were in contact for long periods of time with this sand, you see have dried up as if any amount of liquid or meat in them has just been mummified, basically, underneath this sand.
Definitely.
Hey, did
want
it-
to-
Did anybody drink any of those healing potions we found?
look over. There's Carolina has the other one. I had to use one for
I just need the vial.
Tanya.
There,
Yes.
you got the empty
Yeah.
vial there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll hand it over.
Geralt is just gonna take the little glass bottle and see if he can fit some of the sand into it and just cork
you
it
can
and
scoop
see.
some in.
Right, and he's just gonna all right, and just pocket. Actually, no, not pocket. He's gonna find a corner to just set it in.
Okay. You set it in a corner filled with sand.
Okay.
White or black?
Black.
Okay.
Yeah, do they crumble into like different colors of sand?
Yeah, the black statues crumble into black sand, and the white statues crumble into white sand.
Is there any difference between the two? Like as far as like the acidity or like what it's doing?
It's hard to tell because they're sort of scattered all over each other.
Okay.
Because they attacked in groups and died in groups on top of people.
Yep.
Are there any corpses that aren't covered in, like somebody who might have been standing by themselves and just got crossbowed to death or something?
Most of them seem to have managed to get into contact range with one of the crossbow wielding ones.
Okay.
As you assume if they were wielding crossbows at that time. You didn't see the original battle. You're sort of making assumptions based on the colors.
Okay.
but they were the only one that wasn't like she was covered in some of it too, but like Diedrich and the corpses that she was sort of hiding in were mostly intact and not touched by it.
Okay, and their stuff hasn't degraded.
Not
I
nearly as much. No.
Okay.
And then other question,
Mhm.
because I'm doing decompose on all of these bodies, and I'm assuming we're trying to like form a little bit of barrier. So if we put them like out front, then it'll be a nice. We could plant flowers out there eventually, or just scatter them over the field.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna just work now.
Valdeth will actually see if any of like does this sand-like substance react to water at all.
So you pour water into which kind, white or black, or just both?
Just like a small pile of both.
Yeah, you pour the water in. Look at it. Nothing seems to have changed. You sort of kick the sand around, and there doesn't seem to be any water in it whatsoever.
And then my question is, on like 'cause
Hyper-absorptive silicate.
yeah, because I've done decompose before on regular bodies.
Yeah.
These ones that seem to have been like, kind of eaten into or desiccated by this stuff. Is that changing what's coming out?
It's
What's growing?
changing the quality of what's coming out. The things that are growing out of the more desiccated aspects of the bodies they seem like they're less healthy. There's less nutrient there for them to grow.
Huh. It's all flimsy.
Yeah.
This is weird. I don't like this.
I don't think we'll be able to make anything reasonable out of this. And as far as defensive fortifications go, I think we're better off just getting it out of our way.
It's not composting correctly.
I mean,
Yeah, that's because it's a desiccant.
I would.
Oh, what?
Desiccant, drying agent. Absorbs water, gases, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Am I the
I
only
feel the need-
industrialist here?
Yeah, Jerry.
I do feel the need one more time to urge a little bit of caution here. I don't have a lot to go on, but I'm working off a bit of the theory that those things may have been infected with something that turned them into that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And that in turn might suggest that it could still spread. Yeah, I think you get the rest.
Heavy gloves is what you're saying, yeah?
Preferably.
Geralth. You sort of instinctually look back over at that glass vial.
Uh-huh.
It seems to be intact.
Okay.
Do you go and investigate it at all?
He'll take his heaviest glove, which honestly is probably his only, and then after it's sat for about 20 minutes or so, he will definitely go and investigate it, see if it's affected the glass at all or the cork.
You sort of tap it and the glass just crumbles.
I'm with Ario on this one, yeah. And he'll just point at what used to be a perfectly intact glass vial that has now
you
apparently
broke it.
lost the sand broke it, but yeah.
Give me an Arcana check, Geralth.
Okay. 19.
That changes my plan.
So looking at it and just sort of thinking about the way that glass just sort of crumbled, you were also familiar with the various different ethers that make up material, and you'd have to do some like magic tests to sort of confirm exactly what's going on. But just sort of looking at it, it looks like what's happening is this sand is consolidating the ether that makes up this material into one type. It's sort of homogenizing the ether. and that is causing it to lose its structural stability because the ether that it's homogenizing into is not Earth.
Right.
So it's not like because Earth, or if it was Earth, it would just turn into a rock.
Right.
But it's just sort of like destabilizing, so it's not one of the material ethers.
Does a 19 give me an idea, any hint as to which type of ether it's stabilizing into?
Looking at the colors, you would assume a non-material ether. So
Okay.
air,
Because we've got white and black.
yeah.
Right.
So air, light, darkness, like any of the non-material ethers
Right.
it might be.
The less solid ones.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So definitely not fire, not water. Definitely not water because it didn't stay wet, and
Right.
it's acting as a desiccant. So that would explain not water, not earth because things aren't getting more solid; they're getting less solid. And not fire, not water, not earth, not. You don't think lightning because nothing's exploding.
Right. Okay. Yep.
To be fair, you can't get water more wet.
Yeah.
It stays exactly as wet as it is, no more, no less.
No
Correct.
less.
But yeah, so you're none of those as far as you can tell, and the ethereal structures that are commonly accepted are umbral and astral, which are light and dark, fire, water, ice, lightning, earth, air, and air, lightning, water, earth, air, and ice. Yeah, so those six, and then umbral and astral.
Bella put the bead in his ear and Ithrim, science test for me. Does it burn?
I was just checking.
Yes.
And he's gonna stand a bit away, and he's gonna firebolt into the nearest pile.
So
He'll go downstairs and firebolt the nearest pile.
The force of the firebolt causes the sand to disperse, but it doesn't catch fire.
Oh, good. Now there's particulates in the air.
Don't worry, if you're
That's
smart,
why
you
we
have your
cloaks.
Yep, you have your cloak up as mask.
I'm nowhere near this.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near the let's experiment. Let's start the zombie apocalypse.
I specifically said I wasn't either.
So John, you said the 8 primary ethers are fire, water, earth, air, ice, lightning, and then umbral and astral.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we've got to figure out how to get rid of this stuff, or it's just going to pile up until it becomes a problem.
It can still be covered with dirt, can't it?
Can it be covered with dirt, or does it eat the dirt?
It doesn't seem to be eating the dirt, but the dirt also doesn't seem to be like Earth is the most stable of ethereal natures.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
put dirt on top of it, it's no longer a concern, at least in terms of being in the way. And I would rather have big piles of dirt around
I'll start
than
looking for
big
shovels.
piles of this mess.
Let's see if we can bury it, I guess.
On my way.
all right. I'm trying to see
Saying
if I can
something,
find the-
Titania.
As Ithram comes down, I'll watch out top. I go up to the top, and these all got like dropped pretty near to the front of the like gates, right? I'm looking to see if there's any like, because we know what these things do when they like are stopped and they're sitting there, but I'm checking to see because there were like waves of these things coming in, as far as we can tell. Any damage to the surrounding area from like these things walking through? I don't know what this stuff is, so I guess I'm just looking to see what I can see.
Sure. Give me a nature check or a perception check. one of the
Okay,
two.
I'm great at nature.
Either nature or perception, whichever you prefer.
I'm gonna do perception because I'm much better. Because I'm nature, I'm -1. I'm a great druid. Just real great.
And
Hey.
in addition to that, really quick, there is momentarily going to be an ethereal chart in your handouts where you can sort
Okay.
of see the relationships between those different types of ether.
Nope.
Cool.
And you can sort of see that they are classically aligned in this circle of opposing and adjacent forces,
Mm.
where like
That from? I know that.
wind and fire combine into lightning, which opposes earth and water, and so like you sort of see the connections between the three, or between the 6 elements, and then the umbral and astral on the top and bottom,
Mhm.
being exterior.
Where do I know that from?
I don't know. I don't think you know that because you don't play the game that it's from.
Might have seen you playing the game that that's from.
Maybe. Anyways, I just like the design of that particular chart, so it's like I'm going to use that. Right. What'd you get on your perception check? 24.
24. Yep.
You were looking for the effects on like the environment around that these things would
Yes.
have.
Yep.
So
if it's like I don't know if it's spreading or if like they made tracks through
well,
the grass or anything. I don't know.
the largest source of this effects would
yeah.
be the Shadowfront on the other side of the Lightwall, where you
Yes.
can see where trees are dead and grass is dead, things like that.
Mhm.
On this side, it doesn't seem like the sand has all that much effect on the earth, at least in large quantities, or at least in small quantities. Where the
Okay.
in the larger patches where there were a lot of them, the grass has died.
Okay.
And the earth is a little bit chunkier, like sort of like less. You know, when soil goes bad, it gets less fine and sort of gets chunky and stuck and full of weird things that, like, if you dig it up, it's not right. It's like that.
Okay.
I can't think of the
forgot
wording.
I forgot we let the Eldrazi in last campaign.
No, you didn't let the Eldrazi in last camphaign. You let the
Whatever that oil something
you let
is.
Oh,
the
the Phyrexians.
Phyrexians
Yeah, that was it.
in. You let the
Oh
Phyrexians in.
goodness. Is that what this is?
No.
No, this is
I don't
Eldrazi.
I
This is
don't
much
know
more
what's
Eldrazi
happening.
than
Anyway.
Phyrexian.
Right. Okay. I come back downstairs. Maybe if it's buried, but then that's going to just sit there underground. I'd feel better if it was on the other side of things. Back.
What, you mean like in a different dimension? I think that's a little bit beyond our capabilities right now, isn't it?
No, I just meant like on the other side of the light wall, but sure. Yeah, that is way. I have no idea how to do that.
Very expensive.
I'm thinking we stay away from the light wall for now. We got.
Yeah.
I'm pretty. I mean, Ifram, you've been looking at this. Do you think 4 days is going to be enough for this thing to turn us all into sand monsters?
Only if we bathe in it.
Got
If
it.
we-
Don't do that.
Scuzz,
if
do
we
not
follow-
bathe in it.
Yes, do not bathe, Scuzz. No. That was a do not.
I don't take baths.
There you
It's a
go.
valid
That's
point.
Safe.
Yep, I forgot for a second. I don't know why I was worried.
I am also busy in the front making these silly shin rope traps.
Do you have tool proficiencies of any kind?
Scuzz?
Yeah.
He has he only has alchemist supplies and thieves tools.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a thieves tools check with your intelligence.
Okay. Plus a 10.
10? Okay. So you are putting traps up out in front. They are fairly rudimentary traps, but you are decently good at putting down traps and disguising them. So it's not like it doesn't look just like somebody's like went into a shop, grabbed a bunch of rope, and just nailed it to the walls.
Yeah.
You can't really, unless you're looking for them. They're not easy to see these bits of rope trap and things. You got a couple of like snares going so that they'll like dangle from the walls if they step in a couple of them, and you're making progress on that.
Can I look around just to see, since this is an outpost, if maybe they have some mage supplies here for find familiar? See if they have any charcoal and incense.
Give me an investigation check.
All right. $14.
None that are readily available that you're finding. You find some of the supply storage. It looks like it was definitely had been used, and as you guys sort of noted last session that it looked like they were due for a supply run soon, based on the quantity of food and supplies that they had left.
Okay. I'll gather what charcoal I can if I can find any.
Yeah, there's some charcoal, just not a lot.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Geralt is going to go find Zaki.
He's very easy to find. He's sitting next to the base of the beacon of the light wall emitter, currently with a couple of different boxes of parts out around him, sitting cross-legged. Two arms are working on one thing, and the other two arms are working on a different thing.
Is this a bad time?
What do you need?
If we got 3+ days to keep this thing running, I'm gonna run out of ammunition well in advance of that, probably. Do you have anything I might be able to use to knock a few extra rounds together?
I do have some amount of gunpowder and materials, yes, but I also have something else that might assist. He says as he sort of his four hands individually turn parts at the same time, and you hear two different sets of ka-chink, ka-chink.
You're the expert. Whatever you got, we'll
take these. And he sort of hands you these pair of they're about 2 foot tall cylinders of metal with a handle on the top and like sort of gear contraptions around the middle.
All right.
Put one on either side of the front gate. Anchor it into the ground here, he says, indicating where there's sort of a clamp on the bottom of it. Anchor it into the ground and then twist and pull. One on each side of the door.
Right, will do. I'll talk to you about bullets later. And Geralt will just haul ass with those things out to the gate, probably off to where Scuzz is nearby.
You go up to the gate, and you don't put them on top
Step
of the wall?
right there! Don't...
What's
Watch
up?
your step.
Oh, are you making traps out here?
Yes.
These things we need to anchor into the ground.
Okay.
Quilf, the technomancer. So I'm going to get started on that. You let me know if I'm getting too close to your job.
One is there, and another one is there. He just points out where, like, now that you can just, like, see where he is pointing, some, like, you can see where the wire is.
Good looking out.
Do you want to put them on top of the wall on either side of the gate or out in front of the wall on either side of the gate?
He said anchor them into the ground. Did I get the impression that it needed like contact with the earth surface, or just they need to be
anchored into the floor of whatever they're on?
Right. Mm-hmm. He would probably put them on either side of the gate on the top on the walls then, because that would probably be harder for enemies to get to.
Sure. So yeah, you go up onto the walls.
Yep.
Push down, click, grab, twist, pull. And as you pull out, the upper portion of this pillar unfolds into what looks like a ballista with no ammunition. That's just sort of and begins turning on its own, like it's scanning
Holy
for targets.
shit!
Auto turrets.
Now that's delightful. And he goes and sets up the other one.
We have a pair of auto turrets.
Sparkle eyes. Ooh.
That is fucking gorgeous.
So you have a pair of automated ballista on the wall.
Hell yeah.
Dope.
And at that point, the Link Pearl goes back in the ear. Hey, Valdef, we got pretty decent gate defenses set up here. Anybody gets through is definitely going to run into buckets as traps, but they're going to have a bastard of a time even getting up to the wall, I think.
Right? Okay.
Courtesy of Zaki, you can say thanks when you see him.
All right then.
It's buckets of trouble.
And if you look
Good one,
outside,
buckets.
any of you that look outside, you see these large metal ballista. They're not the size of like a full ballista. They're about half that size. Just rotating, looking for things to shoot.
Cool.
Yeah, buckets, I'd say. Well, I don't know how good these things are telling friends and enemies apart. So watch where you walk in front of them, yeah?
Okay.
You're the only one that actually looks like the things that have been trying to kill us. So
Right. Does Zaki have the same pearl that we do? Is he on our frequency?
No.
I think Skuz is done doing like basic trap. Now that we've got those turrets there, like this is a pretty
that-
well fortified area.
That little red square there is where your traps are.
Wee. Skuz is like, I need to go talk to Zaki about those now.
No, he's let me put a thing here. He is right here next to the central pillar on the first floor.
On the
Easy
first
enough to
floor.
find.
Okay, I don't need a thingy then. Whoop. We don't. Zaki. Oh my God. First, are those turrets are they magical?
Yes.
Are they can they tell? Are they just meant to like fire any kind of moving object in front of them, or can they tell like not to fire at us? Or...
Things that I designate as enemies.
Dope. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Those are really, really cool. Did you already have them on you, or did you make them in here?
I had the templates on me, but I had to construct from the supplies that I brought.
Man, you work fast.
It's just sort
Nice.
of, and you're reminded you've worked with the Izzet League. You're a part of the Izzet League. You know you know that Zaki is a member of the Izzet League, and he definitely reminds you of the higher level artificers of the Izzet League that can just like walk into an empty room with like a bucket of bolts and slap together ridiculous contraptions in very little time.
It still boggles Skuz because he was like the tester. So he knows they get made and they get made well, but he's also like, I'm so glad I don't have to stand in front of that thing.
Skuz is the one that walks in and someone's like, here, drink this.
Okay.
Ugh.
Are you familiar with weirds? We've got a room full of them.
His life perseverance indicator is not set very high, unfortunately.
All right. So, at this point, you will all be able to have a long rest if you want.
Woo!
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sleepy time junction.
As you've cleared bodies, you have buried as much of the sand as you can, and you have there's some level of automated defenses prepped. Is anybody going to set up a watch, or are you just all passing out?
Valdeth would try and
Yeah.
organize watches.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely organize
Ariel
watches.
works
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
Valdeth on that.
Anyone who's got dark vision is watching in the middle of the night, which includes
Oh,
Valdeth himself and
Nice.
whoever
You're
else.
also will sign up for a night watch. Yep.
Yep. Also have night vision.
I think everybody but Carolina.
Everyone but Carolina. I think.
There's always one person in every single one of our groups. One person.
the human. Yeah.
It's never two. It's always one.
Well, for a while in Warlocks it was 2 or 3, but then we got the ability
Yeah.
to not care about it anymore. So
But then Devil's Sight got on the table, and everybody was like, "Fuck you,
Yes.
darkness."
Yeah.
Though I don't know if I have.
you're an elf. You have it.
I
Yes,
do.
you
okay.
have dark
Well, I
vision.
didn't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not written. There it is.
you're an
Okay.
elf.
I
You have
know.
dark vision.
Fair.
Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
flavor of elf you are. You're an elf. You have dark
Okay.
vision.
Just say I know Eladrin are a little weird. So.
Devil's
but
Sight
for
is the
sure.
best because it
Okay.
also pierces magical darkness. So
Yeah, it
you
is.
darkness spell. Fuck you.
So what watches are we doing then?
How many
So-
watches do we need for a full night's rest? 3 or 4, generally speaking.
Three
usually
three.
three.
Three is the
usually
minimum.
pretty much the standard.
Yeah.
Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of us.
Mhm.
So
2, 2, and 3.
yeah, or 2, 2, 2, and whoever needs the most rest can get it.
Technically, if you have enough time and you're not moving, you can get away with 2 watches. But the most efficient one is 3.
Let's do 2, 2, 2, and
Let the wizard rest.
Hey, what?
Also, I can trance. So.
Intern needs to go to Sleepy Time Junction. Take a nap.
I'm going to take the second watch as well.
I was gonna say 2, 2, 2, and Carolina looks tired.
That works.
Cause you know.
Fair, fair.
Mhm.
In character reason.
Carolina suggests that she'll keep an eye on Deirdre, who could use additional medical attention while she's resting.
Also, before we do go to bed, right where Carolina's icon actually is, Ithram's going to ritually cast Alarm.
Dope.
Do you want to cast it there or there?
Well, if they get past there,
Cool.
no, I'll
Ooh.
actually put it underneath the portcullis.
What remains of the portcullis?
Yeah, what remains?
Yeah. Ooh, and before the watches start, Titania plucks something out of her hair and then does something complicated and casts Druidcraft, because one of the things I can do with this spell, which is great, is I can predict the weather for the next 24 hours. Is it gonna rain?
It's gonna start raining in about 5 minutes, and it's not
gonna rain
gonna
soon.
stop.
So I mean,
Means our watchers are going to want to be on the second floor rather than outside, unless you want to be drenched.
You don't want to
True.
smell wet, Goblin.
you know
Ariel's
what, though?
already-
If we
yeah,
used that
d-
powder, we wouldn't get wet.
Wasn't planning on going outside anyway.
Actually,
Unless, you
can-
know, there's a reason to, because we're being attacked or something.
Fair.
As a
has
reminder,
Fer-
the purple arrows are where arrow slits are.
Yep.
So
Right.
that
Mhm.
yellow square is at 20 square feet.
5.
Right.
That's 10 square feet.
10 square feet. Okay, so then
Well,
that's the area that I want to cast Alarm on.
20 square feet is
Or 20-foot cube.
20 foot. Yeah, no,
if it's a 20-foot cube, that'd be a 4x4 square.
yeah, four
Yeah,
by-
so that's it.
no, that's
so
a 2
that's
by 2.
that's a that's a
Be
2 by
one
2.
more. Yeah, it'd be
Hang
Maybe
on.
2 more.
It would be
Yeah.
Be that long. And that long.
that's a 20-foot square.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Okay.
blue
Blue one.
blue. Yeah, blue size.
Yep.
Hell,
Then delete mine. That's where I'll cast Alarm. If anything goes through that little courtyard, then that's not us or Deidre or Diedrich or
Zaki.
Zaki.
Mhm.
then I'll have a mental alarm.
All right.
And if Zaki has any materials that he's able to
Yes, Zaki does
sell or
Zaki does have some materials that he will give to you.
nice.
Give me. You have. Let's see.
Tinker's tools.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the amount of materials he's able to give you. He can give you 40 gold worth of materials to make bullets with. Or sorry, not 40 gold. 4 gold worth of materials to make
Damn,
bullets with.
I'm making all the bullets.
4 gold worth of materials to make bullets with.
Okay.
What is this new contraption you make? You said Gatling?
Which would
Fires $200 custom tool cartridges at 12,000 rounds per minute.
per minute. It costs $260,000 to fire this gun for 12 seconds. Who touched Sasha? All right. Anyway, sorry. I might know these meet the heavies way too much. Yeah. Then yeah. If I can, I'll take half those materials to try and make 20 bullets.
What kind of pistol is yours?
Just a pistol.
So that's 4 gold is 20. 4 gold to buy would get you 20 bullets. So yeah. So you'd be able to make for half that. So
right. Okay. And is that just a Tinker's Tools check?
Yep, that's going to be a Tinker's Tools check with
intelligence.
Intelligence,
right? Yeah. Okay. Don't fuck it up. Oh, whoops. I don't know why I'm rolling at disadvantage, but
24.
24.
You successfully create 20 bullets.
Awesome. And I stash the rest of the materials for later.
All right. You have 20 more rounds for your gun.
I feel better.
Is there any spare crossbow ammunition lying around?
Yes, there are spare arrows and bolts in both that you can find on people that have fallen and what's left in their armory,
Yeah.
which is
how many crossbow bolts can I wrangle?
So looking from what you gathered I'm assuming you pulled the arms and armor off the corpses before Titania decomposed them.
Yeah.
Let me pull up a thing real quick to see how many you get in a bundle.
20 is the standard for most ammunition.
20, yeah. So you'll find a good about 100 extra bolts and about 50 extra arrows.
Does anyone other than me use a light crossbow?
I can.
And
yeah, bolts.
I can.
Bolts are universal for crossbows.
Yeah.
So like,
take your share of bolts, I guess, because there's so me and Ariel use crossbows. Does Ithram?
Yep. No, I can, but I don't have one.
Each of us take 50 bolts.
For me,
Are there arrows as well? Since
yeah,
I found
they're
a
about
short bow?
50. They're about 50 arrows.
Dope. Scuzz is going to not take all of them. He's going to position like 25 at one slit on the
Slot.
second floor, and then another 25 on a
The opposite
one
wall,
here
basically.
and one here.
Yeah.
In case.
Is there any non-desiccated great axes?
Sorry, just the wizard just like, fuck about the spell slots. Don't worry.
I have this.
I've got this.
Give me
This is a 3rd level spell slot called Ouchies.
Give me an investigation check.
All right. 22.
So there are a couple of different great axes, but while you're looking around, you notice that underneath someone's bed, there is a very large, ornately put together trunk.
Ooh, buddy.
I found the Gatling gun.
You pull it out,
Mm-hmm.
open it up. There is a There is a gun axe in there.
God
What?
damn it!
It's a great axe. It's a gunblade.
It's a great axe that has been turned into a gunblade.
What is this contraption? And I pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm assuming great axe is one of your hobgoblin proficiencies.
Yes.
Of course.
So it is a great. So it's a long great axe haft with a single bearded axe head. So it's not a double blade. It's got a single bearded axe head, and there is a firing mechanism on the lower end of the haft, and a basically sort of a revolver, the gunblade sort of revolver, attached to the back end of the axe head. So like you have the bearded axe here and the revolver here. And for anyone who hasn't read them, gunblades are weapons that you can use your reaction to fire when you hit, and it'll fire off a round and add an extra die of weapon damage to the hit.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
You can also craft special cartridges that go into it that do other effects, but this has 6 rounds in it. And 6 rounds in it, and 4 rounds that are marked as 4 rounds in the case that have unique markings on them.
Booming Blade got a whole nother meeting. Fuck yes.
So I'll take the great axe and
There is
the great
also a
axe
name. There's also a name carved into the blade.
Oh, what does it say?
Regulus.
Regulus. Well, okay. Oh,
Somebody's
I-
mom really wanted them to have a cool weapon, and it got shoved into bed.
Aw.
On the bright side, Jeremy, it's not Romulus.
No, that's not that's how I just immediately in my head I heard Emilio Estevez saying regulators. It's
yeah, I heard.
because Young Guns is the greatest movie.
It is really good.
Like the greatest
It
movie.
is really good.
So for the ammunition that are in it are marked special, or 4 rounds that I found?
There are 4 rounds in the box, not in the
Okay,
gun.
box.
The gunblade is loaded with 6 normal rounds.
Okay.
There are 4 rounds that seem to be special in the container that it came in the case that it came in.
Does it indicate how
Okay.
special?
Well, I will take those and I'll say, Giro, I think I have found something you may want to take a look at.
They are gunblade rounds, which means they're not bullets.
Mhm. Right.
Gunblade rounds are basically just cartridges with black powder in them. No actual ammunition, because if you tried to fire a regular bullet out of these things, it would damage the weapon and the bullet wouldn't go anywhere.
Mhm.
Wait, are you saying that ammunition is different? I say as I try to jam a shotgun shell into a Glock.
Why won't this
Bullets-
fit?
I thought bullets were just bullets.
That's when somebody hands you a judge and goes, "No, that's for this." Click, click. For those who don't know, the judge is a shotgun revolver.
Yep.
It's a pistol that fires shotgun rounds.
It's sort of like a gun that shoots knives.
Yeah.
The Taurus judge is the most absurd pistol in the world.
I fired this gun and it broke my arm. I don't know what happened.
It's a gun, Frank. A gun that shoots
knives.
knives.
But I think you might want to look at the weapon I found as well. Maybe we can ask.
Oh, that's a pretty piece.
Yeah. You should have seen the box it came in. That was also good. I don't know why they hide this away. It probably would have saved them.
Well, that's what happens when you get surprised, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Can I look at any of those specialty rounds and see if I can determine what they do?
Sure, give me an Arcana check.
Can I assist to see if I notice any?
You can also make an Arcana check, or you can give him advantage.
Both make 1.
Yeah,
14.
24.
All right.
So, Geralth, you can tell these are elemental cartridges, which means that basically the when fired, they will have the extra die that they do will be elemental rather than slashing because it's an axe.
Right. Mhm.
Ithram, these are fire cartridges. So each one of them basically, rather than just causing you to do extra weapon damage, when you fire them while these are in it, it'll basically like do a little fireball at the axe head, and the extra damage dice will be fire instead of slashing.
See,
Like full fireball.
No, like
Okay.
like an extra D12 of fire damage rather than an extra D12 of slashing.
You hit somebody with the axe, and then the world around you is just flame.
This is called self-destruct.
You could make a cartridge that casts fireball when you trigger it, but it would be casting fireball at the axe head you're holding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what your rogue does with his short sword, short sword gunblade. Just fireball,
Right.
stab, and then
click,
evade.
click, stab.
Use the explosion to rocket out of the area of effects.
Goblin engineering. Yeah.
See, I know when you were designing these, this is this very Final Fantasy VIII inspired design, but because of the way it works with the different weapons, it's just very Ruby in my head.
This is Final Fantasy 14 style gunblades, sir. Where they went, you know what? We could put a gun in a hammer. And did.
It's just like dust cartridges to me in my head now.
But yes.
Well, I think you should definitely give this thing a try. It's a
Oh.
little heavy for me, but yeah, if you can use this fucking axe, I'd say swing away, bruv.
It's a bit more gilded than the one I was trained with, but
And
This
holding
is
it, you can
very
tell,
nice.
like, it's actually balanced similarly to where a double-bladed axe would be balanced, because the revolver chamber is so
Mhm.
heavy. It's
Right,
like
just a
it's
big
such
chunk
a
of mass on the
big-
other side of the blade.
big bearded axe on one side and the revolver thing on the other keeps it balanced relatively nice.
this will be last resort.
It's
Or
a good
first
name.
resort.
It's a good name for that. Either one.
It has name on the side. It says Regulus.
Well, yeah, but some
Yeah,
people's mothers sew their name into their undergarments too.
Yes, this is true. Do they? This is not how. Did your mother? It's okay if you don't want to answer.
Let's put a pin in that. My family circumstances we can talk about some other time.
That's fair.
Once I know everybody a little better.
Yeah.
Smash cut to Scuzz scratching his butt, and you can definitely see Scuzz like embroiders on his
Yeah, otherwise
Compliment of Mama Goblin. Mama Buckets.
Ma buckets.
I'm attempting to find, is there any sort of like garden here?
No.
Or okay.
That doesn't even require a roll. No, there's no garden here.
Fair. Then I'm just foraging
Sure.
for anything that might be smokable later at some point in
Okay.
time.
So you are going to be making a gathering resources roll.
Okay.
You are in an area where you might find herbs and the like outside the tower, sort of growing wild.
Uh-huh.
How long are you going to spend foraging? And are you doing it on your watch?
Not
remember,
on my
we're
watch.
going
'cause
into
that
nighttime
doesn't seem
now.
like a good idea. I need only 4 hours of sleep, so sometime in the middle of the night.
So let's
There we
say
go.
you're on second watch and you'll go after your second watch.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I
We-
think
we're
a
still in
bunch
the
of
middle
people
of
wanna
doing
do
that, by
second
the
watch,
way.
so,
Who
yeah.
wanted first watch? We never did decide that.
Geralt did.
There you go.
Skaz and Geralt. Who wants second watch?
I'll take second.
Ithram already called it too.
Ithram and Ariel. So third watch is Valdeth and Titania.
Yep.
Aw.
I'll wake up a little earlier then and go
Okay.
look for stuff.
So we'll get to that in a moment.
Yep.
First watch. Geralt and Skuz, as light begins to fade and we enter into the twilight as night begins. You are watching from the second floor of the tower.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Rain
just
has begun. I
patrolling-
assume.
rain began a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a heavy downpour, and that's pretty much all you can hear at the moment outside the tower. A
Thunder at all?
little bit of thunder in the distance, nothing nearby.
Okay.
You notice that it doesn't pass the light wall. You can't see any rain on the other side of the light wall.
Well, that's weird.
That's depressing.
What?
If
the
it
rain
doesn't
here?
rain over there, then nothing will grow.
I mean, you're not wrong. Well,
Other side is in Shadowfront side, or other side is in Empire side?
You are on the Empire side. It doesn't rain
Okay.
on the Shadowfront side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me perception checks, both of you.
yes. 13. Solid rolls today.
21.
Nice.
The rain sort of obscures most of your vision,
Mhm.
but you're sort of keeping out for an eye out for large troop movements. There definitely are some entities that are breaking through the light wall and like forming up on this side. Every once in a while, one of those ballista out front will turn, aim up, and fire, and you just get a as a bolt of force rather than an actual physical bolt rockets through the air, and you just see a in the distance as something explodes into a cloud of sand.
How far
It's
distant?
so cool.
Looks like the light wall you would estimate is about 300 feet from the bastion, like sort of
Okay.
emanates out from where the emitter is.
Mhm.
You're estimating that ballista is probably reaching about 250 feet. Its good range is probably between 50 and 250 feet. Like anything inside 50, it's not going to be able to hit as accurately,
Right.
but it's good at keeping small things away.
Terra and siege tank rules.
Just every once in a while, not often enough to indicate like there's any force approaching, but it's definitely picking off some amount of enemies that are gathering in places. It's just
Anytime something gets, within 50 feet inside the light wall, it just goes.
no, within 200 feet inside the light wall, it just nails it.
No, I mean within 50 feet from the light wall.
From the light wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Well, at least they know to keep their heads down. But yeah, if nothing seems to be actively encroaching yet,
Not
just
yet.
keep an eye out. Occasionally check the flanks and the back just to see if anything might be trying to swoop
nothing
around.
that you two are able
but-
to see through the rain at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scuzz has a bow in hand. A bow and an arrow in hand, but not knocked,
Mm.
but ready to launch. Yeah.
Other than that, is there anything else that happens on your shift?
So, Geralt. Sorry, Nikki forgot how to pronounce your name right. No, okay. In character. So, Jared.
Jared.
How you doing?
Well, still a little sore around the ribs from those crossbow bolts, but otherwise intact, more or less.
That's
More shallow. Did you get tagged at all?
Oh yeah. Something got me in the rib cage and it was hard to breathe for a while. But Ithram patched me up.
All right.
You are no
Yeah.
longer poisoned, by the way, Scuzz.
He's just like, and whatever I took in that dart has gone away too. I'm fit as a fiddle.
Good looking out then.
Valdez.
Okay.
Valdez is specifically sleeping like in the opposite barracks room from where
Yeah,
everyone
I'm
else.
with you.
Yeah.
Good. You can't hear Scuzz's very loud, very obnoxious voice.
Griffin work everything that you anticipated it'd be.
I think there's just about as much danger as my last job, just not quite as fire. There's not as much fire from my last job.
Or water, or both at the same time.
That too. Or free food. There's not a lot of free food, unfortunately, with the Griffin work, and I liked taking home the experimental food. That was great. It was really good.
Well, experimental.
I
you
used to
working
work
with-
in I used to work in the EZIC college as a tester.
Huh.
That's how I got this job. You know, I did some work for Zaki, and I mean, I didn't like, we're not buddies yet, but
Well, I'm sure a little bit of conversation, maybe a couple of drinks or something. You two probably hit it off a little better.
Maybe he seems really busy, so I just didn't really do that or try to initiate that too much. Like, you know, I'm not gonna try and force friendship on somebody if they're not like that. Anyway, but how about you? What did you We've talked about this a million times, but I've already forgotten. What did you do before before becoming a griffin?
Nope. Got a little more action. Eyes peeled.
My eyes are always peeled, like turn, and there's just like big, like the, you know, because we both have dark vision, so I imagine both of our eyes are that like cat, like
It's
like
that it's that
reflection,
cat inverted
yeah.
reflection thing.
Yours
Yep,
are
mhm.
yours are cool. Mine are just big dinner plates inside of a goblin head. Mine looked like fucking, what was it? Pookie Lives.
Whatever horror movie still that was that Jeremy showed us. Yeah. But bit of this and that. Mostly work on the streets, some in the workshops. Valdef and Lady Victorian there, they ran across them, and now I kind of on retainer for that couple. So
They're really cute. I'm glad that they are together. They complement each other very well.
yeah, gonna make a good addition to the nobility, I think, which could definitely stand to use a bit more improvement, in my opinion.
That is completely out of my realm of understanding.
That's why I didn't mind telling you that.
Yeah. How do you feel about dogs?
Well, I usually recommend broil or barbecue.
There is a clatter from downstairs.
Peek over.
You buy over here and see what that was. And Geralt is out.
Speedy.
You head downstairs
Mhm.
and you see Deirdre. She is leaning against a wall, using it for support to move towards the, like, she managed to get down the stairs. You're pretty certain the clatter you heard was her falling.
Okay.
And she is sort of using the wall to try to get around towards where her station was.
Oh, I love. What you up on?
Laid down too much.
All right. Well, let me help you. Yeah.
She will begrudgingly give you an arm.
Right.
She's actually moving, which is, she's in a better
Right.
position than she was previously.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, you're at the end of your rope, so wherever you're headed, you still got to take it easy once you get there. Yeah?
My duty is to keep this bastion safe.
All right. And right now, the easiest way you can do that is to let me know if there's any weaknesses, faults, blind spots, anything like that we need to keep an eye out for, yeah? Good commander needs to know when to delegate, right?
You can see her sort of processing things. She's still very clearly exhausted.
Yeah.
Um, Though, compared to what you've seen previously, surprisingly resilient. Like,
Mm-hmm.
mechanically, she's dropped 2 levels of exhaustion instead of 1.
Right.
So like you're kind of like just at the back of the head impressed at the speed of her recovery.
Hell yeah.
She sort of thinks about it. The backside of the top bastion has always been a blind spot. And she sort of points to where the stairs are, and you get that she's indicating the arrow slot above.
Right.
There's no, especially when it's raining, it's hard to see out the back because there's not as much light coming in that side, just because of how we're angled at the light wall. And
Right.
the north side as well, same thing.
All right.
And she sort of
And Giralth will pass that along to Scuzz upstairs. Keep
Okay.
careful watch. West and north. Those are the places where it's harder to pick up on approach. Those
Okay.
were the two cardinal directions, right? West and north.
north.
Yeah.
I will move my buckets to the appropriate place. And you see him pick up his arrows and move them one to west and one to north.
Right, now where's your station usually, Valkorian?
By the front gate.
Right, well, we got 2 turrets overlooking that. And the wizard set up an alarm spell, he said. So what you and I are going to do is camp out right here in front of the doors and keep an eye on that front gate, but trust to our technology to at least be the first line of defense, yeah?
That's fine.
Right, now we do this in shifts. We take it easy. So you're going to sit down. You're going to lean against this wall here. I'll watch for about 20 minutes at a clip, and then I'll let you take over if you need to, right?
All right.
And here, a little something to keep you awake. And he passes her his wineskin.
She takes it and drains it.
Good. He's hoping she gets drunk and falls asleep as soon as
I was
possible.
going to say, that is the opposite of what
Yeah.
drinking does for me.
As she drains it, give me an Arcana check, Geralt.
Okay. 13.
You
God, I'm
notice
rolling like balls today.
as she drinks,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of runes light up on her neck that look like giant runes.
Huh. I actually speak giant.
These are
Common, elvish, and giant.
you see the Hog rune, which is the rune that indicates the word hill, as well as some runes for strength and endurance, and then on the other side you see Ise, which is the frost rune, with duty and responsibility. Just sort of like lighting up slightly as she drinks the wine. She seems actually invigorated by the wine.
Okay. Well, he'll just kind of make a mental note.
Yeah. She does not fall asleep.
Okay.
As you keep watch, she's sort of like, she seems a little bit on edge, like less just like drop dead exhausted and more like very focused on doing her job at the moment. But she will sit down and lean against the wall. You also see that she managed to hang on to her glaive, which is again this long pole arm with a long sharp blade at the end of it, which just sort of like leans against the wall next to her and sits down and just focuses on her breathing and watching the door.
Okay. All right. He'll just stand the rest of his watch there
Yep.
and let Scuzz take over the second floor stuff.
So first watch passes.
Thank God you're not there to watch him do a dance routine as he twirls around between the west and the north area. Just
Beautiful.
First watch ends. Second watch, Ariel and Ithram.
Yep.
Go ahead and give me your perception checks before we get into whatever it is you're doing on your watch, if anything.
Geralt will be sure to tell Ariel and or Ithram, whoever, that Deirdre's down here. See if you can get her back to sleep at any point.
Deirdre, do you need to go back to sleep?
22.
No!
I got a 19.
22.
But
All right.
I have spell for that.
So you two also occasionally hear the auto ballistas out front firing off. You do notice that it begins to pick up in pace over the course of your watch, and sort of towards the end of your watch, you'll see it's like, rather than, it starts off as just occasionally 10-15 minutes pass, another one. Towards the end of your shift, which we'll get to after we see what you guys want to do on your shift, it starts firing far more frequently, like every couple of minutes.
Okay,
But
that's lovely.
Maybe I'll actually get to practice with this thing tomorrow.
Yes, interesting.
Yeah.
Should we go? Should we go put Deirdre to sleep?
I can do that.
Let's reason first,
Yes.
and then if that doesn't work,
Yes.
when
Also last resort.
yes. Well,
Oh, you went there for
Yes and no.
conversation early.
no.
No.
So yeah, go find.
so
I'll let you talk. I'll watch up here.
Wonderful.
she is leaning against the wall next to the front door, her glaive off to one side. The runes on her neck are not glowing anymore.
Darling.
So she looks up. Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot there were others here. And she's sort of staring out the door.
Right. So here's the thing. I appreciate that you've got you have your mission, you're holding to it and all. If you're actively forgetting that there are people here, that's
No, I just-
understandably worrying.
I recall that there was the half-elf with the gun, the goblin, my cousin, and the dwarf. I forgot that there were you two.
Here's the thing. The quicker that you are not about to fall over, the better. Now, my friend could push the issue, but I would rather reason and say, please, for fuck's sake, go to bed. We're capable.
Give me an insight check, Ariel.
Don't have advantage at that now, do you anymore? Huh? How's that feel? Huh?
Wow, someone sounds bitter.
DM, you showing your bitterness is so salty.
Oh.
No, I do not, and thus I rolled a 7.
So you're not picking up on her thought process at the moment, but you have seen this before. Being a bounty hunter, you sort of work with people who get to that point of, there are two kinds of people that go into bounty hunting. There are people that are in it for the money, and there are people that are in it for the duty, the responsibility. Yep. She is that last one. You can tell very much that she is she's here because this is her job.
Yes.
And she feels personally responsible.
Ariel assumes so anyways, which is why she's so desperately pushing, because those are the people that get you killed because of their obsession.
So she's definitely she's listening to you and hearing you, but you don't know if she could go to sleep even if she agreed to go lay down at this point. She's just too keyed up.
Right then. Well, fair enough. Walk away. Ithram, you're up.
Okay.
Hey,
I'll-
she
yeah.
will go to sleep
Yeah.
unless she's somehow immune to this shit.
Or
I'll
has
go
too many
down.
hit points for the roll.
I'll go
Oh wait,
down.
yeah, because she's a human, right?
Yes, she's a human.
Okay. Because I was suddenly like, wait, Titania's cousin. Shit, is she an elf? Because then this is gonna be fucked from
no,
the
I have
start.
many cousins.
Uh,
The whole.
so I'm assuming that since
Royals.
long rest hasn't ended, I still only have the one spell slot left over from. I haven't regained all mine.
Correct.
Okay, so we got one shot at this. So I'll kind of walk down the stairs and look around and just eye her, and then cast sleep on her
Okay.
or on that area. So let's see.
I mean, I warned
Nice.
her.
27.
So, if she was still at exhaustion level 4, that would have put her to sleep.
Oh,
Because 4 cut your hit points in half.
Because 4 cut your hit points in half.
damn.
She recovered too much for that spell to put her to sleep. But, make a perception
Wait.
check, Ithram.
Wait, this is very important. How many hit points does Ariel have?
No, Ariel walked away. Ariel's not in there.
Okay, I was about to say,
Ariel's
like,
not in there.
I think anybody in the
To me,
I don't-
when I'm like walked away, it was more like walked a little bit away because if this worked, then Deirdre was going to fall over and Ariel was going to be there to catch her so she didn't kill herself smacking her head on the floor.
So, Ithram, you're pretty
I rolled an
certain.
8.
You're pretty.
Yep.
You spelled it and do it, but you're pretty certain she passed out with her eyes open. She's like sort of staring out the door still. You're confident she's asleep, but
She's
you
well
spelled it
trained.
and do it.
She is well trained. I'll walk up to her and wave my hand in front of her face.
No reaction.
I'll quick check to make sure that she's not bleeding from anywhere.
No, it doesn't look like she's bleeding. It looks like she's just.
Okay.
She convinced herself she could stay awake.
Job well done. And I'll use my link pearl and specifically just to Ariel and say, "All right, she's out."
Wonderful. Well, mission accomplished then.
I'll stay down here until.
Perfect. Go watch from above. Keep an eye on this
Absolutely.
out there.
All right.
Tanya goes and gathers herbs at some point during the second watch.
So, Titania, go ahead and give me a herbalism kit with your wisdom.
Okay. It's a good question. How do I roll this? It's a good question. I'm just gonna do my wisdom save because I think that's the same thing. It's with proficiency. Yeah. I'm gonna do it that way because I don't know how to roll on my kit. But I got a 22 for gathering.
22 for gathering.
Shows up in the.
All right. So, what were you trying to make specifically that you were gathering resources for?
Just something to relax.
Like
This is stressful.
incense or weed? Like, what level of relaxing are you looking for?
Weed. To be honest.
So you managed to find about, we'll say, 5 gold worth of herbal relaxants,
Okay.
which could be used to craft. You could probably make enough for like 2 or 3 people with that.
Okay. I feel pretty good about that. I will tuck that into my pocket
And that's
head
not-
back before
And just to be
my
clear,
watch.
that's not 5 gold total. That's just 5 gold worth of herbs.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Right.
All right. Head
Uh-huh.
back in.
By the end of second shift, the force ballista have geared up to firing once every couple of minutes.
We'll let whoever comes up behind
Yep.
us know.
So that's
And
Yeah.
that
Escalating.
Deirdre's downstairs. I put her to sleep.
Okay.
She may be awake by now. I don't know how long she's been sleeping, but she insisted on staying by her post.
Okay. I'll go wake up Valdeth and let him know.
all right. Well, Valdeth and Titania, go ahead and give me your perception checks for the watch.
Yes. Mhm.
10.
9.
It's raining a lot.
This is gonna be
It
great.
is.
I'm
Uh,
proud of both of you. Stop looking into each other's eyes.
Oh, they're not doing that though. It's super awkward.
So you come down to the first floor and you
Yep.
see Deirdre, Deirdre, and it looks like she's just staring out the door.
Aldeth walks over, waves a hand up.
Asleep with her eyes open still.
Is she like leaning on her halberd?
She's
To
leaning on
hold
the
herself up.
wall. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, that sort of thing, not nearly as easy as it looks.
No.
No.
Well, no, let me rephrase. As easy as it looks, not as easy to maintain as it looks.
It's fair. It's fair.
You have to be very tired.
Yeah, no, we should probably just let her. Let
Yeah.
her.
Let's just let her stay there for a bit.
So, this is exciting.
First job, not quite what you were expecting.
Well, it's
Well,
isn't
first
the
big
first job, but yeah.
First big job.
I don't know. This is a lot. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a long 3 days.
Yeah.
So how long is this rain supposed to last?
Well, pretty much was it supposed to last like the whole I can predict the weather up to 24 hours.
You
away.
didn't see it ending.
Okay. Probably it didn't look like it was gonna let up, so morale.
We're going to want to get some torches lit at some point just to try and drive back some of the increased dark of the rain.
Yeah. Also, like, make sure people, keep up the spirits. Those are big sounding.
That's firing way too often. I'm gonna go check the wall real quick. I'm gonna head out into the rain.
Okay.
You head out into the rain.
I
It
walk
doesn't
out.
rain all the time.
I walk out to where the ballistas are at and see where they're
You
firing.
see, both of them are firing, aimed almost due south. There's
What's
like
over
one's
there?
firing than another. You see a horde? Yeah, a horde would be sort of the best way to describe it. It's sort of like, in Helm's Deep when the orcs are like in
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings movies where the orcs are like so thick you can't see the ground.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
That
How far out is it?
200 feet.
How
Wait,
fast
John,
is it
they made a
moving?
Lord of the Rings movie.
About 20 feet around.
You gonna
So
I
you've
put my- I
you've
put
got about
the-
a minute before they get to the
Yeah,
wall.
I put the link beat in. Everyone, time to wake up. The enemy is about to be here in the next minute.
I am awake.
Rise and shine. I shake my cousin awake.
She is already up, glaive in hand,
Oh.
like there's an enemy in front of her.
Okay, yeah, it's not quite here yet, but coming. I'm gonna.
She looks around, a little dazed, definitely way less tired than she was the day before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She is now at 1 level of exhaustion.
Woo.
Hey,
She recovers
Good
2
job.
levels of exhaustion per long rest.
good for her.
Giant heritage. So- Presumably everybody wakes up.
Yeah. If anyone's not like responding, I will head up to where people are
Putting on
sleeping.
armor
Yeah,
now.
I'm.
Legion General Varnabas is a Goliath, and Diedrich's mother is a storm giant.
Hey.
So I
Very fair.
love her.
What we're saying is,
Unsurprising.
Yeah. I go and help Ithram. Your armor's heavy, right?
No, it's leather.
what we're saying
Leather?
is,
Okay, never mind.
Varnabas punches well above his weight class.
Hell yeah. Yep.
Should
Geralt is up and throwing armor on.
yeah, should be ready by
Yeah.
the time they get here.
Already up.
So, you all have a minute to prepare. Feel free to get into various positions that you would like.
Right.
Valdez pulls out his light crossbow and is gonna take up position on the wall at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Deirdre walks out into the center of the courtyard, raises her glaive. A lightning bolt strikes it from nowhere because there wasn't really a whole lot of lightning previously, and she
Whoa.
turns into large size as all the runes on her body become visible and glowing.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh my god.
Giant soul sorcerer.
Geralt
Nope, Rune Knight
lean-
Fighter.
Yeah, Rune Knight Fighter.
Geralt leans out his arrow slit and just kind of pats her on top of the head. No, just kidding.
I like
Scuzz
how, for
does.
the record, without any kind of like coordination or at the exact same time, Cody and I moved Ithram and Ariel to the exact same spot.
Yeah.
on-
Yeah.
And with a minute prep, Geralt only has time to inscribe 1 bullet right now, so he's going to have a.
So yeah, Ithram, you didn't have time to change your spells, unfortunately, but you do have them.
I only have a few offensive ones anyways, and I don't have materials for the other one that I have prepared. But yeah, it's all good.
Yep. He's gonna prepare a ray of sickness bullet.
This is why she's the gate guard.
Damn right.
Scuzz has moved his bucket of arrows to one here next to him, and then the other one next to Geralt. Like, nope, you don't have to use them if you don't want to, but just don't move those.
I don't fucking know how to use those, so no worries there, lad.
Perfect. Look, sometimes people move things when they don't know what to do with them. Don't move them.
of note, while moving to that position, Ariel would have grabbed a cloak on the ground, something
Mhm.
torn a bit off, and she is covering the lower half of her face because yes,
Yep. Right, pop some cloth, tie on a face mask.
Yep.
I assume Ithram
because
just
face masks save lives.
I assume Ithram pulls up his cloak
Yeah.
again.
He's just gonna pull up his cloak, Aizawa style.
What we're saying is this is a topical D&D game.
Yeah.
Cover your face. Wash your hands.
Yep.
6 feet, Ariel, that way.
There's only 5.
I mean,
there's
we've
only,
got-
a good opportunity.
We
Chad.
Yeah.
have We have a full space between us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Mhm,
Think of social distancing like a D&D battle grid.
Right,
A 5-foot
yes.
square between
Always
you means
keep
there
a
will be
5-foot
enough
square.
Yeah.
You have your 5-foot square of influence around you, and then everybody else keeps the distance.
And keep
Oh
in mind,
man.
if anything gets within that 5-foot square between you and
You get
another
attack of
person,
opportunity.
you get flanking.
Yep.
So use it for your own health.
Damn straight.
All right.
Oh God.
We are here to enrich your lives. So
Final Show Films is not responsible if you murder people.
I just,
Protecting yourself.
Legal disclaimer: do not use your attack of opportunity to injure people that come near you.
Advantage is not a legal reason to commit murder.
Someone coughing on you is though.
Flanking
Well, to be fair,
gives you advantage. It does not give you immunity.
fair,
Hmm.
check your local laws and guidelines because it may depend.
How
Pretty
does
sure it's a law.
Taram feel about?
No, it's definitely a law in Florida.
We support municipality sovereignty.
But
So
before, can somebody in the second floor check to see if maybe there's just the one horde from this way, not the other horde coming behind?
That's a valid point.
Ooh,
You're off the
can-
run check.
Yeah.
So the horde is coming from the south. So it's sort of like you can sort of see it from any of the
Okay.
west, east, south windows.
Mhm.
The gate
Any
is
of
on
the, any of the
east.
bottom half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
I was super excited for us to all set up here, and then somebody goes, "Can we check and see?" And it was only coming from the other side, so we all just look at each other like, "Move around."
Okay.
But so this is not going to be a typical fight because there's just too many NPCs to keep track of for me to do that. However, we are going to be breaking this in. We are going to be using a horde fight mechanic that I've sort of been workshopping in my head.
Cool.
Initiative is as thus: the horde goes on initiative 20. You guys get to roll your own initiative for that. On initiative 20, the horde will get closer, and it will do various things. On your turn, you will have your full range of abilities to affect them.
Okay.
But they will all behave as one entity for purposes of keeping, and they will for attacking and taking damage and things like that.
Cool. But initiative.
So, roll initiative.
Hey, that's
God
pretty
damn.
good.
And this is my...
I rolled a natural one. Cool.
Aw.
Of
With your
course,
+7
you did.
initiative, yeah.
This
God,
is my... That's just my
how
horde...
do I-
That's just my horde indicator. It is not
Okay.
a thing you need to worry about.
I'm not
it is a
worried
thing you need
about
to worry
horde
it.
moving too slow. We have all day.
We're so close to being going before the horde, but not quite.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Deirdre is going at 7, so...
I'm going at 4.
Two of us are so close.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is why tiebreakers are important. Because we know who goes first here.
All right.
For some reason, I can't figure out how to
Hmm?
do the
Initiative
thing.
tiebreakers?
It's
On your-
in the gear. Oh, that's right.
In the Beyond 20...
Yeah,
in one of
there.
the you hit the Beyond 20 settings. You hit in Roll 20, Beyond 20 settings on the lower right hand corner of the chat window. Click More Options and then Add Tiebreaker to Initiative Rolls is in that list.
Yep.
Boom. Awesome. Hell yeah. Thank you. But I think
Ah.
I go before.
What's your
Titania.
dexterity?
19.
What,
With
Titania,
mine,
what's your
my
dexterity?
dex is 12. Yeah.
Oh,
And
did it
if-
already change
And
it?
I'm changing it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ithram, what's your dexterity?
16. I just changed mine.
There you go. I was just putting it in the thing.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, Dietrich has an 8 dexterity. Okay, the horde goes first. So you see this, and also on 20, the force blister are going to go as well. You see this massive horde of creatures. Not all of them are. Not all of them are the goblinoid statues. There are some of the ogres, some goblinoids, some that look kind of like humans, some that look like hobgoblins, some that look like a variety of other species. All of you can make nature checks.
Okay.
Sure.
17.
Also 17.
15.
14.
The DC was 5.
Cool.
To realize that these are all the species that lived in the uncharted frontier prior to it being taken over by this corruption.
Yep.
Oh, bummer.
So the goblin tribes that lived down there, the hobgoblin legions that lived there, the ogres and trolls and humans that lived there, they're back.
It's like it's doing a forcible conversion.
I've played this game.
They get
We're
closer.
back. A goblin's tail.
They get closer. They are now 60 feet out from the wall.
Okay.
Ariel.
Yep. I will. Yep. I do not want to hear the good word of the Lord Dust. So I am going to shoot at one of them.
Good word of the Lords of Dust? What?
Of the Lord Dust,
Oh, okay.
not the Lords of Dust.
I was going to say,
would
wait,
not want,
have we confirmed? What?
I would not want to hear their good word either.
No,
'cause
no,
it is
you
not
would not.
good.
It's not all that
But
I was going to say that if they make it through the door, then we would have one enter Sandman.
so I hit with 14 if I hit.
Yes, the 14 hits.
And I did 9 piercing damage.
You did not. So you fire, and your crossbow bolt
I'm assuming thump.
hits into one, passes through its head, hits into another one.
Yep.
You just sort of skewer 2 goblins with one shot.
Cool. And that is my turn. Because I am saving my action surge for when something big comes.
Valdeth.
Does this ballista I'm standing next to seem like it has any kind of human interaction mechanisms?
No, it seems fully automated.
I was going to ask if I could point it and fire it at specifically one of the targets.
No. It's also at the moment only hitting the back row. Because you're noticing that once they get within like
Yeah, they
a certain
can't
range,
aim
it
down.
can't hit them anymore.
Yeah. In that case, then Valdeth will just try and trip up some of the things walking in front of the ogres, because the more we can slow down or damage the ogres, the less damaging they will
What?
be when they get here.
The force cannons are still doing things because they dropped the total hit points of the horde quite a bit before it got to you.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
No, it's very
Good.
useful.
How many ogres can I spot? Because they kind of stand out from the rest of the horde.
A handful of them, probably about 12.
Focusing fire on ogres.
All right. So what are you throwing?
Light crossbow.
Light crossbow? Go ahead and fire.
The whole crossbow, not shooting
Miss.
the bolt. He's throwing the
An
crossbow.
8 is a miss. You fire the crossbow, it hits the dirt. You're having trouble. The rain is affecting your aim, and it's like you getting that trajectory just right is an issue.
As I finish reloading my crossbow, I'll look over. Ithrim, you've got the really dangerous stuff. If you can bring those ogres down so we don't have things bashing these walls down, it'd be appreciated.
Agreed.
Do my best.
All right. Scuzz.
Scuzz is going to try to aim. The horde hasn't gotten to the the portcullis, right?
No, they're still 60 feet out from the walls.
Okie dokie. Then yeah, he's just gonna work on frontline guys for now. He's just picking them off until they start getting close to that front part, and then he is definitely going to try to aim for people that won't hit his trap, or just try to make that whole red area difficult terrain.
Gotcha.
But that'll be next turn. For now, do I have sneak attack on this, or does it matter?
Yeah, you'll have sneak attack on this.
19 to hit, so 9 piercing, 2 sneak attack damage.
Oh, 11 damage total. Good.
Yes.
Good. All right. Titania.
So I'm gonna
There's a giant woman next to you.
There's still yeah.
You lucky lady.
Right?
Which I only say because giant woman is playing in my head.
All I wanna do is see you.
I do a chill touch, probably on one of the. Well, no, actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do fairy fire on a big chunk of them. The way that seems like it's gonna come
Sure.
first.
Are you up on the wall
that's
rather
6.
than on the ground?
What?
Are you up on the wall rather than on the ground?
No, I'm on the ground.
Okay, so
So
you
I
have to-
duck kind of to the side here. Thanks. And peek around this giant, my cousin, and then I can see. So fairy fire, they make a dex save. DC is
Let me roll their
14.
collective decks for you.
yeah.
See this horde dodge a glitter bomb.
No.
How dare!
They have
How-
a collective
God.
-5 to their decks.
God. Fine.
Natural 20.
God. Sheesh.
You know,
You were literally trying to hit a broadside of the barn, and the barn dodged.
it's not that you rolled a 20 that annoys me. It's that it amuses you so hard.
The thing that made me laugh was that even if natural 20s didn't auto succeed on saving throws, they're
Oh, yeah.
still higher than her DC.
Yep.
What annoys me is that an 18 would have failed. 18 and below would have failed. You needed a 19 or a 20.
Yep.
Oh,
So I'm ineffective.
fairy fire goes off.
No. You're very
And you
effective.
catch the raindrops, and the rain is on fire for a very small amount of time.
You set
That's
fire
not how
to
that
the rain.
works.
You set fire to the rain.
Yes.
Watch it burns as it touches your face.
Oh,
That's my turn.
that was funny. Ithram.
Well, I did have an idea, but damage is probably better. So firebolt
All right.
at one of the larger targets.
They have AC 10 and a -5 to their dex save.
18 for 9 points of fire damage.
9 hits. Or 18 hits, sorry. 9 damage.
For one of the ogres or a larger burly target.
Yeah, they take collective damage, so it's you
Yeah,
know, you hit an ogre.
Just for flavor, that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn. Should I keep doing this, or perhaps, since raining, freeze the walls, make it difficult to climb?
Save that for when they get here.
Ooh, you can do
That's-
that?
Yes, it's like how I chill drinks. You know,
That is very cool.
small area, but
That is so cool.
Just Ether in a club with a girl, just like, your drink looks a bit warm.
I flex.
I flex.
Right.
Or dude, I don't want to assume what Ithram's preference is,
Find out.
but would be that dude.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Ithram?
No, I don't have anything as a bonus action. Yeah, that'll be it.
Deirdre has no ranged options, so ready's an action to fuck up anything that gets to the wall.
I swear to God, I legitimately thought you were going to say, so jumps into the battle.
No.
Just
Pushes-
charges forward.
Pushes out into the horde like a tactical genius.
I was going to say, there's the dead person.
Studied at the Jenkins
Oh,
School of
just
Tactics.
I mean,
Wait.
if someone hadn't
got
told
plans.
Scuzz to stand upstairs, he probably would also be jumping in.
Geralt.
True story. Ariel thought for a second to tell Scuzz not to do dust angels in them, but then decided not to because didn't want to give him that idea in the first place.
Smart. How high up am I on the second floor?
You're 15 feet up.
15. Okay. And
Oh, no.
they
You're
are
you're higher than that because the wall is 25 feet, so you'd be 30 feet up.
30 feet up. Okay.
Yeah.
And they are about how far from the wall currently?
60 feet out.
60 feet out. Yeah, that's outside his. Yeah, with the angle, they're probably outside his normal range for the pistol.
So it'll be disadvantage on your long range.
Yeah. Fuck it. He made an extra 20 rounds, and he can do that one more time. He'll try one. Just regular shot with the pistol. Here we go. Hey, 19
hits. With the crack of a discharged pistol.
12 piercing damage.
All right. The horde gets closer. They are now 40 feet. They are now 40 feet from the wall. Ariel.
Yep. Other than the ogres, it's still mostly smaller. All
Yeah,
smaller
humanoids.
ship, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you see, John, we are second level characters.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us are fighters, which means we have one thing we can do in this situation. Well, two things, but I don't feel like killing off Ariel just yet by diving into melee combat.
I forgot. Hang on. The Force Ballista do fire as well. Sorry. Keep going though.
So therefore, I'm shooting again.
The Force Ballista.
I rolled a 19 and I did 4 piercing damage.
Wow. I'm so sorry, Jeremy.
A 19 hits. You did 4 piercing damage. The Ballista also hit, doing a collective 17 damage.
Nice.
You are weathering through quite a bit of them, actually.
Nice.
All right, so
14.
14 hits.
5 more piercing damage.
5 piercing damage. All right, Scuzz.
Gonna start aiming for the ones close to the traps. It's pretty. Math. 12? 12?
13.
13.
Mm-hmm. All right. Titania.
I sneeze and
Cover your mouth.
I don't
Vampire
actually.
sneeze.
I don't. I specifically don't. I use symbiotic energy, so I expend a wild shape here, and I get 8 temporary HP, which goes somewhere on the sheet. There.
Yeah, and the
And I get some stuff that happens. So Titania sneezes and a cloud of orange particles. Poof.
And now there are mushrooms on you for some reason.
Yeah. Oh. That's okay. We'll deal with that later. And that's my action. Because wild shape is an action.
Remember, when you sneeze, always dab.
Jesus.
It's true.
If you dab when
Yeah.
you sneeze into your elbow.
I hate you so much right now.
As a parent who is
Fucking-
teaching their 2-year-old how to sneeze into their elbow, I have taught my son how to dab.
It
I
makes
regret nothing.
A
It-
10-foot aura, so I'm
it
gonna
makes
give
it
myself
fun
an
for
aura.
them, and it keeps them sneezing into their elbow.
I have to counterbalance my son saying shit on Twitch streams, so
I'm gonna give myself an aura so I know how big it is.
It's okay, man.
Stop.
While I'm watching a stream or something, someone on the stream went, "Fuck, man," and Gabriel goes, "Fuck, man."
No.
And you had to explain, no, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. Was the Twitch stream?
Katie,
Yeah, I can't
Katie-
can't blame anybody but myself.
Katie already knows that I prefer that they learn to cuss here than out
I
at
mean,
school.
that is fair.
So it's like,
Yep.
good boy, congratulations, you've used the word. Anyways, Ithram.
Mortifier.
Warfire.
Or fire.
19 for 6 points of fire damage.
Alright, 6 more points of fire damage.
Nope.
And I'm just keeping one of my hands on the wall for when they get closer
Okay.
on the front part.
Deirdre continues to hold her action. Geralf.
She's ready.
She's
Primed.
fucking prepared.
And you said they're 40 feet away from the wall right now?
40 feet away.
Still a disadvantage. We're going for it. Here comes the misfire.
Your pistol.
Pistol standard range is 60 feet.
If
He's-
they're 40 feet.
He's 20.
There's
So
a
here's,
hypotenuse.
so here's the thing about the hypotenuse. Shooting down is easier than shooting up.
It's still a higher distance.
It's
Yes.
still a higher distance because they're 40 feet from the front of the wall, which means they're 65 feet from my position just
Yep.
laterally, which would already put them outside. Plus,
That
I'm
is
up,
fair.
so it's even longer.
Yep.
Next round, they'll be inside probably my standard range.
Out of
But there's a
13
13
hits
hit?
anyways. Yeah.
Okay.
13 hits.
9.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, where you learn math. Ha, suckers!
All right. The horde.
Why do you think I started playing Dungeons and Dragons?
The horde is now 20 feet from the wall. The ballista are firing. This is the last chance they'll have to hit anybody in the horde, because after this they'll be completely inside their range.
After that, the ballistas just keep firing. The problem is they just fire straight up in the air and right down on us.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I know how to hit them. Aim up. Wait, there's a problem there.
Who put Scuzz in charge of the ballista?
I defo didn't do that.
17 to hit and a 24 to hit, which means they both hit. So
Geralt, you're my buddy, but I will throw you under this
wow.
bus.
That one ballista's having a bad day.
It needs recalibration.
9 points of force damage. All right. And Ariel. They are now 20 feet away from the wall.
All right. Yep. Remember what I said last round about I got one thing I can do?
Yep.
Are there still are not any bigger, nastier things
Correct.
beyond like okay.
No, this seems to be just a volume horde rather than
Yep.
dragons and things.
Alrighty.
24 hits.
See, this is the point when we are fighting things with armor class of 10 and like 2 hit points that I'm gonna roll 17s, 18s, and 19s on my attacks. Once it matters, we'll be back to the 2s, 3s, and 4s.
Yeah, no, when the dragon comes in later, it'll be.
Yes.
All right. Anything else in your turn?
No. know we're gonna be conservative and we're gonna hold that action surge back
Okay.
for when the dragon shows up
Yeah.
at the end of this fight.
Also, I think the loading property is per turn.
Per action. I looked it up.
Oh, is it per action? Nice. Cool.
It says action or bonus. Anything that you do to do the attack action or the like.
Yeah.
But it does not say you can only attack once.
You know,
per turn.
if you action surge, you get another action, which means
Yeah.
you get another fire. But if you have like 3 actions in a row, if you have 3 attacks but don't have crossbow mastery, you can
But
only
it takes
fire
the
once.
attack action.
Yeah, you can only fire once. But if you have 2 different actions, like what action surge gives you, you can fire twice.
Yep.
Cool.
Is how that works.
Haste also gives you 2 attacks.
Yes, haste also gives you another attack.
So then
It's not per turn. It's just that most of the time you only have 1 attack action.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, no, I specifically looked
Yes.
that up
Yes.
when we hit level 2 because I was like,
All right.
Dex is not my attack stat.
Oh,
8
Valdez.
8 misses.
Dex is decidedly not my attack stat.
Not bad. You got a +3 to it.
Yeah, from my +1 Dex and the +2 proficiency.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say you forgot the +2 proficiency in
Right. Right.
there.
Scuzz.
7.
It's
Not my best.
you've almost got the horde down to half health.
Oh, hey.
All right, Titania.
All right, I'm gonna do stupid things. I run out into the middle of the horde. Squeeze past here.
These damn
and
royals.
thus my fiance died.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
No.
whoa. Whoa, no.
Wait, sorry, I had to type something up. What
Yep.
just happened?
I'm running out.
So what's your
God
what's
damn
your
it.
speed?
Seems we have
Titania is charging the
30.
offensive line.
Yep, it's 30.
5, 10, 15, 20,
Uh-huh.
25.
Yeah, I can. You said they were 20
30.
feet away from the wall.
20 feet away from the wall, yes. Which
Yep.
means that's 10
Which
feet.
you were 15 feet behind.
I
That's
was.
10
Dang
feet.
it! I'm not good at math.
So it's 10 more feet off the map is where they're at right now.
God. All right.
You are 10 feet away from the horde right now.
Shit.
This is the point where where everybody just suddenly switches to kill anything that comes near.
I thought they were closer.
Do you
It
want
was
to
at
take
this
that back,
point
considering you
that
actually
Titania
have an understanding of what
realized
you're looking at
she'd
now?
fucked
Fucked
up.
With a proper understanding of what that was, do you want to take that back?
I will allow you to roll that back if you want.
Sure.
If you want,
Well-
you can absolutely stick with it and be like, Titania's like, yes, they're right there. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Wait.
There can't
She
be that
is
many of them.
Stupid.
Wow, it
She is
seemed closer.
Really stupid. She
They seemed a
is-
lot closer than when from behind the walls.
Yeah. Ah. Yeah, I got a 4 on that first one. I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
As
So,
just I feel like almost simultaneously from multiple people in the pearls were like,
What?
shit.
Wait,
So,
wait.
Tanya,
And then I
You're 10
and then
feet
I
out.
cast. Yeah.
so
I still have an action.
you do.
I have not used my
That's true.
action yet.
You could dash
could run
directly
back.
into them.
I'm not gonna do that. I am gonna cast a spell. Here. There they are. I cast Thunderwave.
Okay. What's the range on Thunderwave?
15-foot cube.
Centered on you?
Originating
yep.
from you.
Originating from you? Okay.
Uh-huh.
It originates from you. It doesn't say
So,
Excuse me, enemy horde. Just in case you didn't notice I was here. Boom!
Bam!
Shush.
so
This
it's
is a
a
terrible
con
idea.
save.
Anyway, they have to make a Constitution save, or they take 4 points of thunder damage, which is so much. God
I
damn
like
it.
how on the dex save where they had a -5, they rolled a natural 20 and passed.
Yep.
On their con save where they have a +5, they rolled a 2 and failed.
I thought I seriously thought you were gonna say they rolled a 10 and succeeded.
No, they rolled a 2 and failed. It's funny.
And
4 points of
so
damage.
when they start their turn, they're all gonna take 1d4 necrotic damage as well.
Cool.
After a con save because of the spores.
All right.
Just for reference.
Ithram.
That's my turn.
So Tanya just ran out and drew attention to herself.
Yep.
Best way to deal with this is
There was a
sleep.
loud boom.
No, I'm just
Everyone heard it.
Sleep.
That's 100.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Let me tell you what. Remember, they're collective hit points.
Yeah. Let me see.
I mean, that's fine. No longer a threatening target. They'll just run right past her unconscious form.
Oh, sleep on Titania.
She's an elf. Doesn't work. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
it
That's
wouldn't
right.
So they're not close enough. They're 20 feet away from the wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They are just outside of range.
Of course they are.
Fuck it. I'll pull off one of my spikes off my belt. I'll toss it down to the ground near Titania, and then I'll cast Catapult and launch it straight down the middle of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a dex
Poland
save.
for goblins.
That's a dex save. Yeah.
Yep.
That's my favorite
18
game back home.
damage.
There we go. That's a reasonable dex roll for them.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, this spike just like punches a hole through a line of enemies.
Oh, that was much cooler.
I have 9 more.
I got 9 of these, but a goblin won't be able to save against them.
Anything on your turn? Anything else on your turn?
Nope. No bonus action still.
Okay. So Deirdre is going to run out to protect Titania. Boom, boom, boom. She's going to stand here. Fortunately, she is a giant and has enhanced reach and is also wielding a reach weapon, so she is able to reach them regardless because
Yes.
10-foot reach.
Sauron moment.
She has a 10-foot reach normally. In giant mode, it goes up to 15.
I'd like to define that I'm talking Sauron, Lord of the Rings, not Sauron. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Right.
Yes.
He
You can
named
cure
himself
cancer.
Sauron. I forgot about that. He doesn't want to cure cancer, though. He wants to turn people into dinosaurs.
Right.
So
To be clear, canonically, he named himself Sauron
Because of
because
Lord of
he's
the
a Lord of
Rings.
the Rings nerd.
bonus
Yeah.
action, she's
Lord.
going to activate her Ise rune.
You say what?
Nope.
You see those any of you that read giant, you see the runes on the right side of her neck pop into like this glowing icy blue glow, and her muscles swell noticeably as her skin turns slightly blue.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Valkyrian, fuck him up.
As her strength goes to 22.
Will do.
Nikki needs to step away from the computer for just a second.
Mhm.
Nikki gonna be in her bunk.
Nikki gotta go deal with the problem real quick. I'll be back.
D&D Beyond, why don't you have the ability to temporarily increase someone's stats from the main screen?
Why?
I have to edit abilities and then come on.
So much effort.
You can actually click on one of the if it is a character sheet, you can click on this stat and then bump up the modifier
Can you?
to whatever you need it to be,
Oh, I see.
or override score.
score. There it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So she's going to attack them with her glaive.
So
Eh.
D&D Beyond's answer to you is you can.
Read, bitch.
All right.
Jesus,
A
Nikki.
19 hits. She rolls a
Look,
19 to
I'm
hit.
just in a fighty mood right now.
She deals 11 plus 2, 13 slashing damage. Yeah. That's it. No, she can't do that. Yeah, so she she sort of stands over Titania and just swings this glaive that grew in size with her and just wipes out a good chunk of the front row with one strong swing. She also is going to save her action surge for later. Geralth.
Okay. They are getting. None of these are standing out particularly as, oh, that one's a high priority target, right?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Link Pearl goes into the ear. Valdef, I know they're getting closer, but I don't. Maybe you could redeploy that ballista to a little further back so we can get some more use out of it. Anyway, just suggestion. You're the
How the
tactician.
fuck do you work this thing?
He's already out off the Link Pearl right now, so doesn't even hear that. Never even crossed his mind. And he's gonna just pick a target that's as close as possible to Titania.
Yeah.
24.
24 hits.
Yep. Whoever would be next set to menace Titania will be getting 13 piercing damage. Or maybe a couple of them will. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, no, it blasts through a line of them. Just. All right, their turn. The force ballista fire, but can't hit anything. So just.
And they take. They have to make a con save or get fucked up by mushrooms.
Oh my god.
They failed their con save, so.
Yay.
What do they take?
1d4. So
Go ahead and
I'll
roll
just roll. 2.
2.
Necrotic.
That's-
And the horde hits the wall. They swarm forward, surrounding Deirdre and Titania, and begin piling on themselves to get up the wall. So,
Ew.
everyone on the wall and the two in front of the wall are going to be taking some attacks.
Fuck off.
No.
No use.
I am the wall guardian of the wall.
The horde quivers before him. Fuck off!
Oh.
No, I just need Deidre to say it like that. It'd be great. Titania, this is the horde guardian of the wall. The horde quivers before her. Fuck off. Whoa.
All right, so we've got some
Nikki's in
attacks.
love with your cousin. Sorry, Mara.
We've got some attacks coming in.
Yeah.
Ariel, does a
Yep.
19 hit you?
Yep.
All right. That's 6 piercing damage. You need to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Sorry, 6 piercing damage, not 16. I don't know if that came across clearly.
Yeah.
You
Well, that's not good.
you feel sluggish again, and in the back of your head, Esme goes, "That's it." Just
That.
to indicate the effect that she was talking about earlier.
Helpful, dear.
Ithram, does a 20 hit you?
Yeah.
7 piercing.
Yeah, even if I do use shield, it'll still hit me.
7 piercing. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
9.
You also begin to feel sluggish. Titania,
Yep.
does an 11 hit you?
No, my AC is 12.
As several of these things come swarming in on you, your cousin just sort of stomps down and they sort of collide with her leg.
You rushing out of the wall with an AC of 12.
They try to hit Deirdre,
Here's
is-
the
Got her
problem.
reasons.
but fail.
It's working.
I know, it's going to be positive reinforcement.
Results
Bad idea.
Results-based tactics is always a bad idea.
And Valdeth, does a 13 hit you?
Nope.
All right. So they only hit Ariel and Ithram.
Splendid.
I just love Valda thinking like, I want to be mad at her, but it's working. And God.
Ariel.
It's okay. Ariel will be mad for everyone. So how many of these fucking things do I have in front of me
Just
now?
they're swarming up at you. There's one
Okay.
primarily that's sort of stabbing, and it's like on a pile of others.
So interact action, drop the crossbow, pull out the Adelian blade,
Mhm.
and start hacking. Actually, no. First action. Yeah, no. Keeping the hand crossbow in one hand, I'm actually gonna pull out my hand axe for the moment.
Okay.
Hack at whatever is closest to me.
Yeah. That is a 19 to hit You
for
just
8 slashing damage.
obliterate the goblin that's crawling up at you.
Am I momentarily free of things in melee range?
You are.
I am taking a shot at one of the at whatever looks like it's about to eat, decapitate, disembowel, etc. Titania.
Got it.
As my action search.
Go ahead and make the attack.
This is where I roll a natural one and then just shoot Titania right in the head.
No.
You'd hit Deirdre, really.
16 for 4.
That hits. All right.
And then heard through the pearl. Titania, dear, would you do me a favor and stop being a bloody idiot and get the fuck back here?
Love it.
Bzz, bzz.
The number you're trying to call cannot be reached at the moment. Let's try again.
Valdeth.
So Valdeth just sort of drops the light crossbow onto its sling and pulls the greatsword out, and it's just gonna start golf swinging because there's just hordes of them piling up in front of him.
Do it.
$13
Hits.
presumably hit something.
Yep.
9 slashing, action surge, 20,
Yep.
Easy, crazy.
9 slashing.
Very consistent.
Consistency.
Nice.
Did I? Those are both going to change real quick. Sorry,
Okay.
because great weapon fighting style. So
Hey.
the first one.
Well, one of them is because it's a. did you change ones
no,
and twos? or
whenever
just-
whenever you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage
Oh,
die.
2. Okay.
Yep.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
1
just
or
ones.
2.
So actually 8 slashing damage because it goes down by 1 because that's the risk of it if you roll on a 2. But net up 1.
So net minus 1 damage. Got it.
No, net plus 1 damage.
I mean, to their health. I meant. Yeah. Net
Yeah.
minus 1 hit point.
Mhm.
All right. Skies.
Also aiming at the ones near Deidre and Titania. Natural 20.
Nice.
Damn.
Mac, what is this? Holy shit.
You nail one of the ogres like directly in the throat, and it just crumbles onto a pile of goblins.
Holy shit.
22. Look
That's
at
a
you go.
lot of fucking damage. Holy
They
shit.
are-
Yeah, Scuzz looks down at the bow and is just like, holy shit.
This is what it means to be
The-
a god.
The horde.
no.
The horde is drastically reduced in size as well. It is you are on the last vestiges of the horde now. All right, Titania.
Sweet. In that case, I'm doing fine. Got my face covered and everything. Pull up the cloak and go swinging in. With my scimitars here.
Sickles.
Or sickles. Yep. Sorry, wrong character. Here we go.
Very different weapons too.
Yeah.
They curve the wrong way.
Curve. Yeah.
No, the sharp
so
edge is where
A
the curve is.
17 for the 1, and then the bonus action.
They curve both too sharply and the wrong way.
15, and on both of those, they also, because as I swing, the little spores like collect on the blade and also do some damage. for a D6, I think. Yes.
Melee
D6
druid.
poison damage. For any all melee weapons attacks, so it's not just once, it's both times. So 2 and 5 poison damage.
So as Titania swirls around with these sickles, just sort of stabbing and slicing through, you see mushrooms beginning to sprout all over the enemy forces. They wither and die very quickly, but they're sprouting.
Yeah. Cool. And I think I'm gonna stay out there because I'm feeling fine. They're dying. We're beating them. This is fine. Everything's fine. We're good. The end.
Valdez, I trust you. I trust you'll take care of this problem as soon as this fight is over.
I'm currently being swarmed by goblins, but yes, this is a conversation to have
As am
later.
I. As am I. We can gripe and kill at the same time.
Ifrim.
The horde is thinning out a little bit.
It's thinning out quite a bit.
Okay, then I will just put one hand over the edge of where we're being swarmed right now, and I will cast Burning Hands.
Go ahead.
Wow, there it is. I only have one level. Why do you ask?
Because you might have more.
Yeah. 13 points of fire damage.
Roasted. All right. Just melted sand just drops from the wall next to you.
And so there's nobody within melee of me now?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to back up here just for a second and take a breather.
All right. Deirdre's turn. She sets about with that glaive again. So hits with a 20, dealing 11 damage plus an extra d6 for her current large status. Doing 1 damage. And bonus action for her polearm mastery, strike with the back end of the glaive.
Oh
no,
I would
sorry, it's not
actually...
about.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, no,
that's all
there
right.
is D4 bludgeoning. There it is.
I just realized, because I'm not real familiar with this class, that the Halo of Spores damage that I was doing, it's doubled. So can I roll again for it real quick?
Doubled for what?
The area of effect one. The one that's like the Halo.
The Cloud
around
of
me.
Spores one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. It does an extra 1 damage. It's very effective. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
She has to actually attack with it.
Been away at this group.
This is her bonus action attack, not the... Ignore that damage. She just hits for 3 extra. All right.
While symbiotic entity is active, Halo of Spores does.
And she's going to go ahead and use her... She's going to go ahead and use her action surge. And hit again with the glaive. For 10 more damage. Plus another d6. For 3 more damage. So yeah, Deirdre is doing her best to keep Titania clear of enemies, just windmilling that glaive, blade, then hit butt, then glaive again, just sort of knocking things back and forth around Titania. That makes it Geralth's turn.
With the link pearl, you can broadcast the entire group. You can broadcast to a single person.
Yes.
Can you broadcast to just 2 people, or is it one or the other?
Yeah, you can target.
All right. The link pearl goes in. Valdeth and Titania are the only ones that hear this. Titania, darling, If you don't get your ass back behind the wall where it belongs, I'm going to tell everyone here what you did at that party in the Gentes district the other week. And don't think I won't. As Gent uses his actual voice for the very first time in this campaign. And then he shoots the whatever is closest.
Go ahead.
18 for 7 piercing damage.
More of them go down. All right, their turn. The swarm focuses. There's not enough of them to swarm up the walls anymore. So instead, they're just going to focus on attacking Deirdre and Titania.
Of course they are.
They do start their turn next to Titania, and thus Halo of Spores activates.
So they do get Halo of Spored. Halo of Spored.
Spored, yes.
Now, Halo of Spore is a very different thing. That's when you start spawning weird-looking alien
I
creatures.
think they succeed on a 23.
To me, yes, yes.
But let's see what they do about hitting you. There's a 9 hit Titania.
No!
God. It's not like I want Titania to die, but I do want her to learn a lesson.
Does an 18 hit Titania?
Yes.
All right. 6 piercing damage to Titania, and make a wisdom saving throw.
I need to make a what?
A wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Hang on. Taking track of hit points. 23.
You managed to shrug off the incursion of whatever was trying to occur.
Okay.
They managed to hit Deirdre once. He takes 5 piercing damage. As one of them gets around her armor and stabs into the back of her leg. All right, Ariel.
All right. Hold on, checking one thing here. Yep, that does take an action. All right. Well, there are still people in front of me to murder, I assume.
Yes, they're not up on the wall, so you're not in melee, but they're surrounding.
Awesome.
They're surrounding Deirdre and Titania.
They're all surrounding that.
Yeah, there aren't enough of them to pile up the walls anymore.
Okay. Ariel looks real angry and jumps down off the wall and is going over there.
Give me an athletics
More
check.
targets is important.
Athletics or acrobatics, whichever one you.
I am proficient in acrobatics.
Go ahead and give us an acrobatics check. All right,
that is vaguely functional.
You managed to absorb some of the damage, so you don't take the full amount of the fall.
Okay.
You only take 5 points of damage as you hit the ground.
Oh, okay, cool. How bad? I'm assuming the giant person looks relatively fine. How does Titania look?
I am still fine. I've got temporary hit points yet.
Oh, you're still in temporary hit points? Okay.
Yeah.
So then I am just rushing over and...
Oh, hi! You don't look so good.
There's just... It's not even like heated anger. It's just this like cold, like... And double swords slashing away.
Go ahead and make your attacks.
$14 for 5.
All right, and your offhand?
Yes. I'll just have to. So 18 for 3.
How do you want to finish off the horde?
Yes. So like, yeah, run over, just sort of like, sir, and the whole time, just like slicing, stab, etc., looking at Titania the whole time.
Unblinking, gaze unbroken.
Prolonged eye contact.
Ariel just spiral cuts through the remaining bits of the horde. Just one hit dead, 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 until it's just a pile of dust around the three of you.
Fun question. I don't count as hostile at the moment, do I? Because there are spores.
No,
No,
I'm
I actually have
joking.
to choose to unleash
I'm
those.
joking.
Yeah. That's fair. It's not like it's not like Hope's thing. I have to unleash them.
But the horde has fallen to your acts of attrition, and as they do, Valdeth, you feel your link pearl buzzing. You put it in your ear. Yes, Valdeth, it's Koenig. Letting you know that we've hooked up with the military, and I am bringing a reinforcement garrison for the bastion in my troop transport. We should be there in a day.
Oh, good. We've got the wall back online, and now we're just holding off waves of attacking creatures.
We can see the wall is back online. Good job. You've done your work very well. Now just stay alive until I get there.
That's the fun part.
Well, we'll be seeing you in a little bit. And it ends. And with that news, and the dust of a horde around you, and the giant woman beginning to shrink back down to her normal size, that's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Goodbye.